Good day. Once again, I am back again, Mr. Tabo Maupa, for security training. Today, I'm going to be presenting Module 8, Grade E, titled Observation. As a starter, what is observation exactly? There's a lot of different meanings. If you check the vocabularies, if you check the dictionaries, you get a lot of meanings. But observation remains the same. That is being able to see, to recall, and to describe any situation accurately. Right. That is another definition. There's a lot of definitions depending in the situation. Maybe it can be like people with licenses, driver's licenses. When they do their theoretical lessons as well as the practical lessons, they also use observation to check around the car that they are driving for safety's sake. That's also observation. Like here in South Africa, we use mirror blind spot. It's like a type of observation where you must be always checking the situation around your vehicle to avoid collisions and accidents. It's also observation. But the observation that we're going to deal with is observation related to security work or any situation that happens in the environment that you are working. Right. Before we go any further, let me just introduce to you the objectives of this module. Right. Objective number 1. On completion of this module, the student must be able to describe accurate and complete observation, its importance. Right? Number 2, must be able to demonstrate competence in the application of observational patterns to describe people, vehicles, and objects, and the correct recording thereof. Good. Right. Let's now start with the aims of observation. The reason why we do observation as security officers or security personnel while we are on duty. Number 1, you must be able to supply a true account which would enable the court to come to a logical conclusion. Number 2, you must ensure that clues which will be for assistance in solving crime are not lost or overlooked. Number 3, you must be capable to observe and describe minutely people, vehicles, objects, and scenes of crime. Those are the 3 aims. If they say in aim number 1, you must be able to supply a true account which would enable a court to come to a logical conclusion. It means if you see crime taking place or crime unfolding and you see all the nitty-gritty, the details of how it occurred, you must be able to give a true statement under oath to the police. That is, now you are supplying a true account which would enable a court that's where all crime, we can arrest people and do it will end up in court so that the perpetrators can be punished for the crime. So we must be able to give all the details completely, accurately, and distinctly. That is how you supply a true account to enable the court to come to a logical conclusion. That's aim number 1. Aim number 2, to ensure that clues which will be of assistance in solving crime are not lost or overlooked. When we talk of clues, we talk of exhibits. Somebody stole this box of staples and you saw him doing it. Then you use your powers of observation to see exactly what happened and you are able to describe it, how it occurred, and you arrest the person, right? Those are the clues or the exhibits. In court, they call it an exhibit. Somebody can steal a chocolate slab or can steal this phone. It becomes a clue in the form of an exhibit, which is proof that that person actually did the crime. That's how now you'll be able to ensure that clues which will be of assistance in solving crime are not lost or overlooked. Number 3, to be capable to observe, which means to be capable to see and describe minutely, which means all the time, timelessly. You are watching. You'll be able to observe, which is to see, and describe minutely, which means timelessly. People, vehicles, objects, and scenes of crime. Those are what we call the aims of observation. Good. Right. Let's go now to the senses used during observation. You don't use one sense. If you remember at primary school, they were teaching us about the 5 senses. Sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of smelling, sense of tasting, sense of touching. The very same senses we did at primary school, in security circles, they are coming now to be used under Module 8. That is observation, which is the observation that you do in relation to security work or criminal activity, which is happening where you are working. Right. So those senses are simply the 5 senses that you use. The first one is sight. Very important. I don't mean to discriminate, but I don't think we have ever met a blind security officer. It's risky. Right? So eyes is the first one. You use your eyes to see the crime that is happening, and you recall, and you'll be able to describe using the eyes. Then we come to the ears. Maybe you are sitting in the guardhouse. Somebody is busy trying to break in at the back. You can't see the person, but you hear a sound of breaking glass or breaking doors, breaking windows, and so on. Then your ears made you observe through the sound what is happening out of your sight. Right. Then number 3 is smelling. Many times I've been passing like through a taxi rank or many places, then you just hear the smell. No, this is not a cigarette. It must be dagga or grass. How did I can't see the person who's smoking it, but I can smell. There's a difference between a cigarette and grass or dagga. So how did I observe? With my nose. Then we come to the 4th one, which is sense of taste. I think if I can get 2 bottles, one with Coke, the original soda. If you test, soda, or you test, it never changes. It's been consistent for centuries. But if you take Coke and then mix it maybe with Hennessy or vodka or 3 Ships, it changes the taste. And if you put it in your mouth, you can see that this one has been mixed with a certain thing. And the original soda is not mixed. So how did you observe that? Because you used your tongue to test the both bottles so that you see this one has got the original soda and that one doesn't have the original soda. So you can always also use your tongue to test. Then we've got now the last sense, the 5th one, a sense of touch or feeling. You can tell whether it's a paper or a cloth, even if you are closing your eyes. Why? Because of the texture of both substances, right? Paper and cloth, they are not the same when you touch it. So it means you have used your sense of feeling or sense of touching, which is the hands. Those are the 5 senses that you use when you are doing observation. Number 1, sense of sight, which is the eyes. 2, sense of hearing, which is the ears. 3, sense of smelling, which is the nose. 4, sense of tasting, which is the tongue. 5, sense of feeling or sense of touching, which is you use your hands. Those are the 5 senses used during observation. Right. Let's go now to the description patterns. If you remember the 3rd aim, they said you must be able to observe and describe minutely people, vehicles, and objects and scenes of crime, isn't it? Right. Let's go now where you must describe people or a person. How do you describe the person? Number 1, we talk of build. What is build? Somebody 6-pack, hefty, stout, right? Somebody slender, thin, and so on. So when you describe, you actually put the stature of that person. How does his physique look like? Is he like well built, or is thin, or medium, and so on? So that's what we call build. From there, then we go to race. Race simply means, are you black or white, Indian, colored, and so on. You must also be able to put that in your description pattern. And then from there, we go to age. When someone is committing a crime, I'm sorry to say this, you can't go and confirm. Say, yeah, no, please, before you finish this robbery, can't you just tell me your age? They'll finish you off. So you just approximate it. Approximately in his mid-20s or late 20s or early 30s, something like that. So age, you actually approximate from the way how that person look like. You can actually determine age roughly. So that's what you do. That's the third description pattern. Then from there, we come to height. Also, it's approximate. You can't go and measure a person and say, no, before you complete this robbery, come on, man, let me just measure you up. They will kill you for that because they're doing it for financial gain and they don't hesitate to kill. So you just approximately 5 feet 3, approximately 6 feet 1, approximately 4 feet 2, and so that's how you describe when you're writing your report, when you're supplying now the true account. Right. And from there we go to the hair. Is it long or short or bald? Right? So those are the observation patterns of people: build, age, race, height, hair. That's it. That's how you describe a person. Then we go further on now to do description patterns of vehicles, because we know these days they don't rob on foot. Usually they got a getaway car which is parked there near the scene of crime, so that when they finish, then they can quickly get out of the area without anybody noticing or being able to see exactly what is happening. So this is how you describe a car in case they use a getaway vehicle. You have to know the make of the car. Let's say it's a Nissan, or it's a Toyota, or it's a Land Cruiser, or a Jeep, whatever. Right? That's the model now. What model is it? Nissan Langley, Nissan NP3, understand? Then that's the model. Then we go now to the color of the car. Is it gray? Is it green? Is it white? Is it red? Right? Then we got registration number. You must also include it. And that's where we, as security people, we like to use phonetic. Let's say here in Gauteng, the car has got BZD, which is Bravo Zulu Delta 321 Golf Papa, which is GP. Then you just write the number plate. That is the registration number. As well as year of manufacture. Because these cars, they come with the year of manufacture. Toyota Corolla 2004 model, Toyota Corolla 2020 model. It's two different models. So you have also to be described in the description patterns of vehicles. Right. And then we've got now description. The description of the car is like, if it's got make, wheels, spoilers, and stuff like that, you must also include it in the description patterns. Right. That is now done about how to describe a vehicle. Let's go now to objects. How do you describe objects? Okay. First is the description. What is it? Is it a calculator? Is it a phone? Is it a set of keys? Just mention, if it's a gun, mention the object, what it is, what is its name in its class. That is the description. Then you describe the shape. Is it skew? Is it straight? And so on. Then you describe the color, right, of the object. And then peculiar features, something that makes it different from the others of the same class, right? And then you describe the wear and tear. How old is it? Does it have scratches, or does it seem to have been there for quite some time? An old thing and a new thing, there's a difference actually, right? Right. That's peculiar features, and then what you call the wear and tear, right? So it's description, size, color, peculiar features, the wear and tear. You can describe objects just like that. Right. So those are the description patterns of objects. Right. Let's come now to the part where we discuss about the essence of observation. The essence of observation, it simply means the importance of observation. Right? What is the importance of observation? Observation means you are able to recall and describe completely, accurately, and distinctly, exactly as it occurred or as it happened. Right? It might be a situation related to security work or possible criminal activity where you are working. That is the essence of observation. You must be able to describe that completely, accurately, and distinctly. Right. Let's go now to the factors that may hamper objective observation. These are the things that can make you not to be able to observe exactly the way you wanted to. Right. We've got things like fear, number one. I give you an example. Where fear grips somebody and you cannot be able to recall or to see exactly what is happening. Let's say you are a security officer at a bank. You're helping people at the ATMs. You know those bank security officers wearing suits. They assist people who can't operate ATMs in the right way. They've been put there for that. They are unarmed. Actually, they are doing like helping people to punch in the PIN numbers and stuff. Then all of a sudden, there is a bus carrying armed men with the AK-47. What do you think your reaction is going to be? You start fearing for your life. And they're actually coming to the bank. So fear grips you and you cannot see exactly what is happening. Right. Then we've got aggression. Aggression now, if you are aggressive, you can't observe. Because maybe you are full of anger. So your mind doesn't think straight. So you can't observe straight. Right? Then we've got nervous tension. Nervous tension is when your mind is not working because something is bothering you. And you will not be able to observe the way you must naturally observe. Senses cannot work. That's why they call it nervous tension. Right. Then we've got political affiliation. If you are affiliated to a certain political organization, all the people in that organization, you cannot do anything against them because it's a doctrine that all of you follow. So you won't be able to observe because he's your comrade. So you can't just, sell them out. Right? Then we've got ethnical relationship. That is now saying if I'm closer, you are closer, then andikwazi ukubopha ngumuntu asekayo. I'm a Zulu, you are a Zulu, angeke ngikubophise. Umfowethu. You are Tswana, I'm Tswana. Nkasuthware, you are one of us, you understand? So ethnical relationship can also cause that. Then we've got religion. If you are in the same church, I'm likely not to arrest you because I also follow the same church. Because it will be an embarrassment, which only doesn't end with you, but they will include all the members of that denomination. So rather I protect you because of religion. Right. Then we've got things like self-protection, that is prejudice. If you are involved in the crime that is going on, obviously you won't blow the whistle. Those are the things that can grip you and you stop observing what you naturally have to be doing, you stop. Because why? There's some of these things, these factors in your character. Right. As far as we can see about observation, we've realized now that accurate and complete observation is an important tool in security. And it's our duty to carry on doing it and empowering others and making sure that they also do the same observation that we do. Observation without the ability to recall, the ability to record the facts, it's useless, it's pointless. You must be able to see and recall and record accurately, completely, and distinctly, so that you'll be able to supply that true account to the court, so that you'll be able to secure or to ensure that clues which may be of assistance in solving crime are not lost or overlooked. Thank you very much. We've got only 5 questions under this module. Question 1 says, list 3 aims of observation, which is number 1, to supply a true account which would enable a court to come to a logical conclusion. Number 2, to ensure that clues which will prove assistance in solving crime are not lost or overlooked. Number 3, to be capable to observe and describe minutely people, objects, vehicles, and scenes of crime. That is first question. List 3 aims of observation. Question 2, list 5 senses used during observation. 1, sense of sight, which is the eyes. 2, sense of hearing, which is the ears. 3, sense of smelling, which is the nose. 4, sense of tasting, which is the tongue. 5, sense of feeling or touching, which is the hands. That's question 2. Question 3, list 5 observational patterns of vehicles. Number 1, make. 2, model. 3, color. 4, registration number. 5, year of manufacture. 6, description. You just put 5 there. Question 4, list 5 observational patterns of people. Number 1, it's build. 2, race. 3, age. 4, height. 5, from height, where do we go? Hair. Right? Then question 5, list 2 observation patterns of objects. Number 1, description, which is what is it? 2, size. 3, color. 4, peculiar features. 5, wear and tear. That is all for today about observation. I hope you enjoyed this module. I'm going to be coming tomorrow with module 9, which is called guarding and patrolling. Enjoy your day. God bless you. Follow my channel. I'm bringing you more security training stuff. Thank you.